All right, so we're started this journey off from Highway 89 coming up from Jackson, and you're going to turn left, and you're looking for this sign right here, Schwabacher's Landing Road. So you're going to turn left, or if you're coming from Yellowstone, you're going to turn right. And you're just going to follow this down. It's paved, and then it goes into more of a gravel road. I don't think you really need four-wheel drive for this. Maybe if you're going in, it's like rainy and it's kind of flooding, but I thought I would show you this so that you have the best idea of what this road is like in the daylight, and then we'll pick this up when I get here at night, and then you'll see the whole trail at night, and then you'll also see the trail during the light of the morning as I'm coming out, so that you know exactly what to expect. So here comes a camper. It's a pretty tight road. Definitely got to slow down as people are passing. If you have the ability to give them room, I would definitely recommend that. Just be nice. But it does get pretty tight, and you could make this with a trailer, but the parking lot's pretty bad. So here's the gravel road. It wasn't too bad, and it's pretty obvious where you need to go. You're just going all the way to the end of this road, and you'll find a parking lot, and there's a bathroom there. So there's a couple turn-offs coming up, but just follow it all the way to the end. Also keep in mind, if you're coming here early in the morning, I've seen deer run across here, elk. So be careful, drive slow when you're coming through here, or else you're gonna you could hit some animals coming through. So there's a turnoff right there, but just keep following it all the way down. So right here it kind of gets a little rough. You can see the car bouncing around. Yeah, just take it slow. Coming up right here is another turnout. Just keep going straight. Lots of cars coming out. If you have the time, definitely recommend coming here the day before, just to get a feel for it, just so you know what you're in for. That way when you come, hopefully before it's even light out, to get this shot, you'll be completely prepared and ready, and you'll know exactly what's going on. But I think this video should help you in case you don't have time and you just want to come before the sun's out. You'll definitely be able to see what you're getting in for. Alright, so the parking lot's coming up. The bathroom is going to be off to your right. Looks like it's right next to that tree. So you can park anywhere. So if you have a trailer, you might want to park closer to this end rather than the other end, because it can be hard to turn around. A lot of the RVs park over here when they are out here. And we just tend to park right here by the bathroom. But that's pretty much it. So you've made it. Well, just got here to Schwabacher Landing. Nobody here. You can kind of see it. I think the sunrise is in about like 40 minutes. So it's pretty obvious where to go. The parking lot just kind of leads into a trail. Right here. It kind of has like wood on either side. Let's see if I can show you. There you go. Oh, not too bad. Apparently, I don't know, there's one car here, so it's just a Tuesday morning right now. I was hoping for there not to be like 100 people here, but who knows? A bunch of people could come as we get closer. Ran across a deer already on my way in. So we'll see how this goes. I think I said before, but it's a relatively flat trail. Not a lot of inclines or declines. Nothing like the falls of Yosemite that we went through. So there's a bunch of good spots. Basically what you could do is whichever one looks the best, but the absolute best one that most of the photographers use is all the way at the end of the trail. And I assure you, you will know it when you see it. Everything is very lined up and picturesque. A little cold out here, about 40 degrees. I'm out here at the end of August. I was looking, here's the water. So hopefully the bigger pool will be more still. I don't really feel any wind. When we were here yesterday, you could see the wind kicking up the water just a little bit. Not to mention the ducks were doing it too. Whew. Everything looks so different at the night. A lot of roots sticking out, so watch your footing on those. I heard one of the busiest times here is fall. Get all the spring colors or whatever. See, like that's not a bad spot, but you just keep going. We're getting pretty close. We'll see if the other guy's out here.
All right, that's weird. The other car didn't have anybody. I guess I'm the first one here. All right, so I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bench, and then there's the Grand Tetons. This is what I and many other photographers would think of as the best spot. So, yeah, I'm gonna set stuff up, and then I will show you the photos I got.
All right, so here's a time lapse that I shot. I just set up a GoPro and just had it running. For the most part of the whole morning, nobody was there, so I was just taking some test shots. It was still a little bit dark right here. You can see another photographer finally showed up and kind of pops into the side of the time lapse there for a second. But for the most part, it was pretty empty. I was pretty surprised and happy about that. I really wish there would have been some kind of clouds or some kind of, a little bit more dramaticness to the sky, but there wasn't, so that's okay. All right, so right here I'm slowing the time lapse down because if you just look at the peak of the mountains, you can just start to see the pink light coming in, and then it just kind of rolls down the mountains. This is what you're looking for, is this pink light right here. So take as many shots right here as you can. As soon as it's glowing like that pinkish glow, but keep in mind it's not going to be there that long. But all right, now that the light is gone, I'll show you the two shots that I got that I'm pretty excited about. This one I took at a wider angle. I really like it. Kind of frames up the trees nice, got the reflection. I'm pretty happy with this one. And the next one I push in a bit just to get a better shot, more framed up. Trees are kind of cut off at the top, but I kind of like this shot too. Looks more like a mirror image. But for these two shots, I was using my Canon R5 with a 28-70 f2.
All right, and that is the ball game. So there's a trail that goes off this way, but since it was dark when I got here, so this trail goes off this way, but as you can see right there, it's just a dead end. So you just need to come all the way to the end. But there is other spots for pretty good shots. But when I was looking about scouting out this place, I didn't really see a lot of videos that were showing you where to go on the trail. So that's why I'm kind of shooting this. So you saw what it looked like in the dark, and now you're going to see what it looks like in the daylight. There's a bunch of little trails that lead off, and there's plenty of good shots, good spots with good shots. But the biggest part of that little river was where I was at. There's actually another good spot over here that I was going to use if that one was too full. You can see this one. There's just too many trees in the way. But not bad. So there's a long part of the little river right here. The problem is it's flowing. So that means you're going to get a ton of distortion in the shot. It's not going to be as reflective. And some of my early shots, I think, are going to have some of the best reflection due to the bugs weren't waking up yet, or they weren't up yet, and all these little dimples in the water kept popping up as it got lighter and lighter. Well, one of my thoughts was this area, but there's a lot of algae there. Another good one is up here. I'll show it to you. So the trail is marked by these wood logs. Might have been hard to see on my way in. I thought I wasn't going to be the first one in, but somebody just left their car here, I guess, or they were sleeping in it. I'm not sure. Luckily, I didn't run into any scary wildlife. let's see. It's kind of funny because all the photographers know that the light is gone, but all of the amateurs, I guess, hate to say that, you know, but all of them are now rushing in. It's not that it's not beautiful, it's just not the light that it was. And for some reason this time of year doesn't really have as much pink light I've been noticing on this trip. In Colorado, didn't see as much pink. Other parts of Wyoming, I didn't see as much pink. So, I don't know. And unfortunately, there was no clouds above the mountain. That would have been perfect. But, oh well. So you can see the parking lot way over there. I'm gonna pull off here. Yeah, see, it still has a good shadow to it, but it's just not like it was. You know, and it's not that this won't make a good shot, it will. But the other shots are just better, I guess. Where that guy is just standing up with the backwards cap, that's the other spot I was thinking about. But as you can see, the reflection is very muddled because that part of the lake or river is flowing into this one. And there's a ton of distortion in the water. And that distortion will be there all the time. So regardless of morning or not. Also a bit later in the day, the wind starts kicking up, which just adds to more distortion. All right, so I don't know if other people didn't put this part in their video because maybe they thought it was obvious or something, but if you're just coming here, it's really nice to just know. You can come here, the day before you want to shoot, scout everything out. I did bring my trailer yesterday, and I think I was pretty lucky to be able to get out of the parking lot. So I don't recommend a trailer here. Like, as you can see, there's no big turnabouts. There's like, the RVs usually park over here and back in. But yeah, it's pretty tight. Let's look at the mountain. All right. So the highway's up there. You can see the car going across. There is a turnout up there, which is also not a bad shot, but there will be no reflection because you're too far from the water. So, but it is not a bad shot in case you don't want to come down here. But there's a little side road over there. It is labeled Schwabacher's Landing. It is labeled, but you could just rip right past it. Also, Apple Maps, so if you're using an Apple phone, it won't direct you to here. My wife discovered that the Google app will direct you to here. The Google recognizes this as a road where the Apple does not. So I'll probably put you guys up in the dash and then show you the way out, but then that'll be it. Thanks for following. All right, so this is where the pavement starts. On that side of the road, there's a huge dip. So even when you're coming, if you could try to come on this side. All right, so a little bit smoother. So one of the last tidbits I was going to leave you guys with was the sun actually rose or hit the peaks about 5 to 10 minutes after the stated sunrise. So I think it said sunrise was at like 6:36, and I would say about 6:40 to 6:43, somewhere in there, is when it actually hit the peaks. But if you're here to shoot, you should be here way before that. Also, it can be kind of busy. This road can get pretty tight. Also, in the morning on my way in, I saw one buck run across, and then the next guy that came, he said he saw a whole like little herd of them. All right, so here is the highway. Right up here. So there's a stop sign out, but this is the sign that you're looking for. You can't really see it right now, but it's called Schwabacher Landing Road. And I think it's in between. There's another one up here that is called a Glacier something. All right, so up here it's called Glacier View Turnout. So if you're coming from Jackson, it's after the Glacier View Turnout. If you're coming from, I guess, Yellowstone, it's before Glacier View Turnout, which is this right there. See how it says Glacier View Turnout on the sign? But, all right, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, the whole thing.